All right, what's good? I want to welcome you to another episode of Do Work Podcast. Definitely in a different location this evening. All right, so much to catch up on. Sometimes I'm not even sure where to start, but I feel like the news has been so insane and so crazy and just weird. Just it's been so weird. I don't even know where to start. It's been so weird. So first, I'm gonna just start with this. For weeks and probably now months, I have been saying that I would not address the whole Diddy situation. And the reason I said that was because I honestly felt like more things were going to happen, more things were going to come out. If you are older, and I'll say if you're like 35 or older, a lot of the things we're hearing, for some reason, I feel are not surprising. Like, I don't think anybody is surprised that Diddy abused Cassie. I just feel like nobody's surprised. I mean, it's not shocking. I don't think anybody's surprised about his sexual preference. Not that anybody cares, but again, I don't think anybody's surprised because one thing is for certain: where there is smoke, there is always fire. And I don't know if you guys remember years ago. I remember this actually vividly when Wendy Williams was the lead radio personality in New York. Diddy actually ran her out of New York because she was doing stories, because she likes to gossip. She was doing all these stories about his sexuality and how he enjoyed the company of men, etc. And that's what got her run out of New York. And she wound up being a DJ in Philly, a radio personality in Philly. So again, none of this is surprising, but what is surprising, and the thing I wanted to talk about tonight that I've seen that's a little upsetting, is that even after all this evidence has come out, men mostly I've seen, and y'all know I'm not one for the male female drama because I don't have any interest, but men mostly are still defending him, saying that, Diddy, wasn't his fault. He did what he had to, like, why didn't she leave? And kind of blaming the woman for the abuse. And that part to me is sad and sickening because, I always say when men take that stance, if that was your mother or sister or cousin or aunt, I doubt you would feel that way about it. You would feel differently. And I've had people close to me who have had those types of abusive relationships, and when someone is in an abusive relationship, it's hard, it hurts. You want to help them, you want to save them, and you can't, because yes, there's a point where you say to yourself, if somebody's going to leave, they need to leave. And a lot of times they don't, because the abuse has gone beyond physical. The mental, I always say mental abuse is worse, because the physical abuse is nothing. I feel like those heal. The mental abuse is worse, because to get out of that headspace, to walk away from somebody and leave, is challenging. So this message for me tonight, and from me tonight, is more to the men in this space. Please stop victimizing her and saying, why didn't she leave? Where was she going to go? Like, where was she going to go? If he's all powerful, all knowing, all seeing, controlling the space, where was she going to go? And so some people are like, well, why is it coming out now? Because her NDA probably expired. Probably, allegedly. I don't know. It probably expired. So now she can talk without major consequence. Because remember, he paid her in less than 24 hours. And everything that she said in those court documents is coming to light. Everybody's like, oh, that did happen. I was at that party. So I just want the men in the space to not be so quick to shame her for not leaving, because especially in her situation, it wasn't that easy. I mean, when you see a video of her trying to leave and being drugged back and beat up, and like, that's crazy. Can you imagine if that was your sister? Like, dude, And again, I've had people in my life who've been in those type of relationships. So it, to me, it's sad, it's sickening. Like I don't really understand how you can be in that space and do that. How can you be in that space and do that? So again, to all the men out here, please stop shaming her thinking it was all about the money. Because one thing's for certain, I don't know if you've ever known abused women who've dealt with physical abuse and mental abuse. I don't know if you've ever known women who've dealt with that. But abuse is not an easy thing to escape. And I think YouTube is probably gonna mess up my video because I'm saying abuse too much. But long as I don't get too graphic. But the whole Diddy situation, the reason I said I waited so long to address it is because I just wanted to wait and see. But when I saw the video, it triggered the shit out of me because I like I said, I know women who've been in that experience where they've been mentally and physically abused, and it's not that easy for them to get away. And in her case, it was nowhere for her to go. Where was she going to go? Run to a friend house and he sent somebody over there to yank her back up and take her back? 15 years, 10 years is a long time to be abused by somebody. And there are people who've been in situations where it's been more than that. So I want you guys to know and understand, like, again, I'm talking to the men right now. Stop trying to justify his fuckery. Please stop trying to justify his fuckery. Dude was wrong. I said I wouldn't address the Diddy situation until I was ready. Dude was wrong. Stop trying to justify his fuckery. What he did was wrong. He was just wrong. And all the other allegations, that'll be dealt with later. Him and his relationship with men and messing with young boys, all that'll be dealt with later. But I'm just talking about specifically the Cassie situation. Y'all need to get it together because if that was your mother, your sister, your niece, you would be addressing it differently. Okay. You wouldn't be like, oh, I don't know why she didn't leave or what couldn't she do? Like that's not real. That's not fair at all. At all. So make sure the men who come across this for y'all. Stop being a dick. And if you're a guy that beats on women, fuck you. All right. I said what I had to say. I hate that. I really do. I don't think nothing about that is cool. Use your words or leave, bro. And if a woman puts your hands on you, well, defend yourself if you need to, but just leave. Just leave. All right. Next thing, because I told y'all I can't let this shit go. I can't let this go. I can't let this go. I can't let this Jake Paul thing go. I keep trying to let it go, and I can't let it go. I can't let this Jake Paul, Mike Tyson thing go. He's getting $20 million. Mike is going to get $20 million. It is now a sanctioned fight. It is a legal boxing match. It will go on his record, his professional, Mike Tyson's professional record, and it will go on Jake Paul's professional record. And it's terrible. I still think it's a bad idea. Not because Mike is old, but if you've been watching any of the back and forth in the press, it's clearly scripted because nothing is real anymore. Everything is scripted reality, if you know what that means. And if you don't know what that means, scripted reality is simply this. We're going to write a loose storyline about how things are going to go, and you guys are going to improvise. So all your favorite reality shows are not real. They're scripted. They say, all right, this is what we want to happen at dinner. This is how we want you to act when we go shopping. This is what we want you to say here. So please understand, nothing you see is real anymore. It's all curated and created for your entertainment. And this Jake Paul, Mike Tyson fight is no different. It's scripted reality. It is scripted reality entertainment, boxing. So the thing that I find interesting, what's up, everybody? Instagram, YouTube, we kind of on all the platforms simultaneously. Like the thing I found interesting about it is there's stipulations, right? There are always stipulations in scripted reality. The concern is, which is not a concern, I really hope it happens. I want Mike Tyson to go off script. I want him to completely say, you know what? Fuck this, man. I'm just gonna crack your head open. This is what I want to happen. I want Mike to go off script. I need him to go off script. Money, Mike. Go off script. Be the savage you are. Some people are, when it comes to boxing and fighters, some people are made to fight. They are just made to fight. They are made to fight. They are made to win. Mike Tyson is that guy. He is made to fight, made to win. And then there are some people who are just show. Now, boxing has officially turned into WWE. I'm not mad, but I just need people to understand the difference. Boxing has officially turned into WWE, which means there's a fast other. The injuries are real, the punches are real, but there's going to be a winner. And I'm going to be honest with you. This is what I think is going to happen. And the more I watch this play out, I'm just like, no. Mike Tyson is going to lose. Not because Mike can't beat Jake. Mike is going to lose because that's the story they want to sell us. Once I saw this thing was on Netflix, I knew it was scripted reality because all Netflix is scripted television. You know, they're in the business of making movies now. Netflix got a whole full-blown studio. So now they're going to dabble into sports. Whole point is Mike is going to lose. We're going to be upset. They're going to set Jake up for an even bigger payday. They're going to set him up for an even bigger payday. I don't know who would be next. It would probably be Jake and Floyd. Floyd for Logan Paul. He think, Floyd won, Logan thought he won, but whatever. But I think that's the way this is going. Again, nothing is real. Everything is scripted. So, say la vie. Last thing we're going to dive into tonight. It's election season. Tyson will carry him 8 rounds and knock him out at the beginning of the 8th. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen. I don't. I want Tyson to knock him out. I don't think it's going to happen. I'm not believing that's going to happen. I think there's going to be a stipulation where he cannot knock him out. Once they made it a sanctioned fight, I knew the rules would change. I mean, there have been rumors about what those rules are, but I don't know. That's my pops on there. What's up, Dad? I don't think they're going to let that happen. $20? Shit, I bet you 100. This is out here. I bet you 100, pops. I just bet my dad $100 that Tyson will not knock out Jake Paul. Not because I don't believe he can. I just don't believe that's the story. That's not the story we're going to be told. Not if he's getting paid $20 million. He has to lose. They're going to make him lose. They want Jake to be the Messiah. OLs, yeah, that's pops. Will is my pops. Yeah, he's the Messiah. Nothing's happening to Jake. So, last thing I wanted to talk about, because I'm working on keeping my podcast short. That's what I'm working on. Tonight we just busting up. So the economy is going to hell in a handbasket. The economy, the contract is back heavy. That's what they say. I'm telling you, Pop, I don't believe it. I don't believe it. If he takes him out early, Mike went off script. And they got to realize Mike ain't right in the head. So he may go off script. All right, so let's dig into this economy. I don't know if you guys saw in the news currently, several restaurant chains are one completely closing, going completely bankrupt, or shutting down half of their locations, like a lot. Now, some people may say, oh, these are restaurants you go to, but Applebee's is closing a ton of locations, Old Country Buffet, Red Lobster is completely closing and going out of business. So, regardless of what your political affiliation is, we cannot continue to sit here and be like, this administration is doing a good job. I need everybody to stop lying about that first. This administration is not doing a good job, people. They are not. Okay? So if you're a person who hates politics, this is your time to sign off. Because we got to get this out. This administration is not doing a good job. They're doing a terrible job of managing inflation. Terrible job, terrible job, terrible job. And the thing that makes it worse, unfortunately, is that the little people are going to get crushed in this process. Because please understand, big business is always going to get theirs. Recently, there have been a few memes going around talking about how since 2020, the price of McDonald's has gone up. Where like a medium fry used to be $1.38, now it's like $4 and change. Same fry. Now, mind you, I think that's interesting because McDonald's does own the farms and the potatoes, so I'm not really sure what the problem is. But understand, they're going to get theirs. Big business is always going to get theirs. They're always going to get their money. They will crush you in the process. Milk is going, milk, food, groceries are crazy. I mean, you get a small amount of groceries, you walk into freaking the grocery store, $100, you come out with eggs and orange juice now. Like it's terrible. It's terrible. Big business is always going to get theirs. So the question is, and somebody said to me yesterday, well, Diva, I don't think either choice for presidential candidate is a good choice. Well, this is the thing. Whether you vote or not, that election is going to happen. Whether you pick a side or not, that election is going to happen. I know last year I was team, this is all bullshit. The system is rigged. I'm not voting. And I still feel like the system is rigged. I'm not voting. I personally still feel like my vote does not matter. And the last election and how things were handled showed me that vote doesn't matter. They're going to put in office who they want to put in office. But I'm going to tell you this right now. We will not survive another 4 years of Joe Biden. I said what I said. It won't happen. We won't survive. And for everybody who's like, oh, but Trump is a dictator. Let me explain something to you. There's two type of people there's two things you want from somebody who's going to lead your country. One, whoever they are, male, female, don't matter. They have to be perceived as strong and or crazy. Now, when Obama was president, his vibe was he was strong, he was assertive, he was to the point, right? Obama was very strong, assertive, to the point. He not too many highs, not too many lows. He didn't get worked up. He always was like, yes, we're going to come in and do this because this is what we like to do for the American people. Thank you. Like he was very here, taking out people. He didn't get excited. Something bad happened. Obama was very one tone, but he was assertive. So other countries never felt the need to start no shit. When Trump was in office the first time, same thing happened. Whether you like him or not, and a lot of people say, he was a terrible president. He wasn't terrible. He was just unpresidential. And that's honestly how I explain it. He's unpresidential. Like, if he don't want to do something, he's not doing it. He wasn't playing a politic game too heavy in that regard. So when Trump was president, the only difference is Trump was crazy. He's a little on the crazy. So other countries are like, I don't know if I'm gonna mess with him because he's a little crazy. Like he might push the button. Trump is the dude that might push the button and be like, I blow us all up. That's Trump, right? Then we got Joe. Nobody scared of Joe. Nobody thinks Joe is crazy. Joe don't have no highs, no lows. He's senile. He old. Now, mind you, I think both of them are old. I think we do need to put an age on someone serving the presidency. I think there needs to be some age cap. I'm not sure. Definitely on the high end. And mind you, there are some sharp 70-year-olds out here. 70, 75, even 80. These dudes ain't necessarily it. So the election's coming. It's gonna happen. You can choose not to vote, but it's still going to happen. You'll probably feel a little better if you make a decision, but I'm telling you, mark my words, we cannot survive another 4 years of Joe. It's not happening. It can't happen. It won't happen. It won't happen. It's just bad, 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 bad. It's just bad. We are not feared right now. We are the laughing stock of the free world. And for everybody who's like, oh, when Trump was in office, we was the laughing stock. No, we wasn't. They thought he was funny because he's unpresidential, but they wasn't trying no shit. They wasn't trying nothing. Now it's just a free for all. It's just a free for all. So at some point, and I know a lot of people say, oh, you should never talk about politics and religion. Let me explain something to you. Part of the problem is we don't talk about it. You're allowed to be emotional about your point. You're allowed to be passionate about your point. You're just not allowed to be an asshole. I have plenty of people I don't agree with politically. People ask me my political stance. I tell them all the time. I'm like, look, when I was younger, it's so funny. When I was younger, I was definitely a Democrat. I wasn't like on no Bernie Sanders stuff because that's I don't know, they weird. The feel the burn people, y'all weird. Wasn't on that, but I was like, no, I feel like we should help each other do, and we should. Government's job is to help assist when in need. Government's job is to serve the people, and I feel like right now the government is not serving the people. It's not. The elections that really matter definitely are more on the local level. And those are the elections that a lot of people miss. Everybody skips and jumps to the president, but it's too late. Once the Senate is full and Congress is full, that's it. That's where those decisions are being made. So I encourage you, I implore you, if you're a person who's not currently happy with the political state of this country, I encourage you to vote in those local elections. I encourage you to be a voice. I encourage you to have dialogue. Don't be afraid to talk to people. I am now, as I'm older, I ain't ultra conservative, but I'm definitely conservative. My shit has shifted the last 10 years. My stance has shifted. When I redid my license back in January, when I was like, well, I had already been in Philly. When I moved back to Philly, when I redid my license, they was like, pick your party. I actually didn't pick anything. I didn't pick anything. I have to pick something to vote in the presidential election. I gotta pick something. But currently, I didn't pick anything. But now, in my age, definitely conservative. Would I say I'm a Republican? I don't think I'm a Republican, but I'm definitely conservative now. Gay and conservative as hell. Because things are getting weird. So, again, I implore you, you don't have to pick a side, but whether you pick a side or not, it's still happening. It's still happening. It is. And the last thing we're going to touch on, and I'm going to get off of here. So finally, post-pandemic, and I can't say the company's name because I've been told that when you say their name on YouTube, you get blocked. But the company that administered the shots to help you with COVID, they're coming out and saying we messed up. Maybe we shouldn't have did the shots. They didn't really work. I mean, it was probably a money grab more than anything. So I'm gonna say for everybody who ran around with masks all that time, because I was mad as hell. If you ran around with masks on, they're now saying it didn't matter. Why? Because those of us who had common sense kept telling y'all can't cure a virus. You know how many viruses we still have that have been around for hundreds of years? You can make things dormant, maybe. Most times they evolve, change, and we evolve and change, so we fight it, but you can't cure a virus. So if you're one of those people who was like, no, the pandemic was real. It was very real, but like I said the other day, it was a test. We failed. The government now knows they can 100% control us. They can control us. They did it. It was easy. All they said was, hey, if you don't stay home and do this, you're not on a team. It's really a testament to groupthink and sheep mentality. It's really a testament to when you're an outlier, people judge you. I mean, there were people who were like, if you don't wear a mask, you don't love your country. I mean, it was just weird. The propaganda was so weird around that. It was so weird around that. Like, you couldn't even go places without getting, the jab. You couldn't go places without getting the jab. And then the thing that makes it even more interesting is when you finally got it, then it was like, well, now you need a booster. Now you need another booster. Every 3 months, you need a booster. Like, it was a money grab. The American people failed. Y'all fell for it. We all fell for it. I had to do it because I wanted to travel. I wanted to go out the country. I didn't have it for like a whole year and some change. And then I finally had to get the jab because I wanted to go to another country. And they didn't believe in the religious immunity thingy. It wasn't going to fly. So I had to do it or I couldn't travel at that point. But just the amount of people who lost their job over standing their ground is terrible. It's terrible. Like, it really disrupted the whole economy, that whole mindset, the whole shutting down small business. Like, I don't know if you guys really understand how the ripple effects of that are still being felt today. And that was almost that's 4 years ago now. 4 years ago. Pandemic was 4 years ago. And we still talking about it and it's still an issue because we're still feeling the effects. The way the jab affected certain groups of people. More young men have been affected by the jab than anybody. Heart attacks. Everybody's got these mysterious cardiac diseases now. It was a test. We failed. We failed. It was a test and we failed. So I hope when the next pandemic comes, because it will, I keep saying this, and I know everybody thinks I'm crazy, and I don't really care. When the next pandemic comes during this election year, because it's coming, just know we can't fail twice, y'all. We can't fail twice, or it's straight up gonna be like we gonna turn into a communist society. We can't fail twice. We cannot be controlled like that. We got to use our brains. We got to think. We have to continue to be free thinkers because that is super duper important. It's super duper important that we are free thinkers. There are a lot of countries where they don't get platforms, even like I'm doing right now, just to share their thoughts. Like, people want to be silenced. So these are all things y'all got to pay attention. And like I told somebody, I forget, I was talking to a friend and we were talking about the Diddy situation. I said, yo, don't get too caught up in that because they didn't pass a bunch of bills with underlying bills. So let's not get too caught up in all the hype. Let's not get too caught up in all the hype, okay? Make sure y'all pay attention, stay vigilant, stay alert, stay sharp, stay aware. Because truth be told, it's going to sneak up on you. They're going to get us again. But don't let them control you. Use your mind, use your brain, stay sharp. All right, fam. I love you guys. You're amazing. I want you all to have a great night. And like I said, continue to think freely. Get out of that sheep mentality. All right. Take care. Later. Mm-hmm.